My name is Cameron Brown. I'm a guard here at Biola University.
Cameron Brown.
Cameron Brown.
Ready? Yes, sir.
All right, Cameron, tell us about yourself and how you first got into basketball.
Cameron Brown, I say from San Lorenzo, California. If you're not from the Bay Area, it's close to Oakland, California, where most of my people stay. Really laid back individual, God-fearing man. Besides basketball, I hang out with my family. Grew up playing a bunch of sports. I played water polo in high school, so basketball wasn't just the only thing I did. Play the piano, but pretty much now it's just God, basketball, and spending time with family and friends.
Noting your basketball career highlights at UC Merced, including 4 career double-doubles, breaking the program's scoring record with 39 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, and 5 steals against Lincoln in December 2024, and being named the 2025 Cal Pac Player of the Year. How do you reflect on those accomplishments, and how do you look back on your basketball career at UC Merced?
I think first it's just like a testament to God and a testament to my hard work. That day against Lincoln, I think at halftime I had like 17, and coming out of halftime, the previous year I had 36, my sophomore year, so I tied the program record.
Brown. Double figures now in 11 straight games for Cameron Brown. Brown looking for 32 points. He's got it! The program record is 36. Inside jumper, yes, he has 34. Here goes Brown to tie the scoring record with authority. He has 36. The gala's going crazy tonight. Saturday nights here in Merced.
When I had 17, I told one of my teammates, I'm going for the record. And the first 3 shots I missed coming out of halftime, I was like, I might not get it. But then things started rolling, started making more shots. And then my coach actually took me out. It was like 15 minutes left in the game. He put me back with 10 minutes left. And he was like, Cam, do you want the record? Like, do you want to get the record? I was like, yeah, I want the record. So he's like, I'll give you 5 minutes to show me that you want the record. Those 5 minutes, I did not pass the ball once. My teammates still to this day clown me because I only had 1 assist that game. But, there's a lot of kudos to them for letting me rock out because, we were blowing that team out. They were a good team, but we were all rolling that day. But they just kept feeding me the ball, and I really appreciate them for allowing me to get that record. But I think it's also just a test of my hard work. I'm here with Dev at 6. We were here at 5:30 in the morning. My years at Merced I loved it. Granted, I'm at a new school now, but I would never say anything negative about UC Merced. It helped me be the man I am today. I have a lot of love for Kevin Pham, my head coach back at Merced. Still talk to him to this day. Really grown as a man, grown as a basketball player, and he really pushed me to make sure that I got to where I need to be, and he let me rock out. So I have the utmost respect for UC Merced. All those guys over there are still my brothers to this day. I think people know who I am because of the stuff I've been able to do at Merced, but again, it's just all glory to God for allowing me to do this.
Amazing. What would you say is your favorite moment at Merced, playing there?
My favorite moment, I think on the court probably was our game when I did have 36. The game before we lost, I didn't play that well, and the team that we did it against, St. Cat, they were a really good team. If I'm being honest, I thought we were going to lose that game and not be able to make playoffs or be like a really low seat in playoffs. But then that's when I felt like I really solidified who I was at Merced that game. and things were just rolling. I was just making every shot. The whole team was getting lit. Everybody was just like, we got to win this game, from the coaches to all the way to like the 15th, 16th man on the team. So probably on the court was probably that game was probably my favorite moment because we won, everybody did well, and we celebrated real well afterwards. But to be honest, most of my moments that I enjoy were off the court. Like just hanging out with them till 2, 3 in the morning, talking about random stuff, going to Sonic or just doing random stuff with them means more to me. And even talking to my teammates now, a bunch of them are from Riverside or down here in SoCal, so we still talk about just hanging out, and I cherish those moments more than basketball. I think those moments of being off the court and getting to know a person means more to me than putting the ball in the hoop with them.
So what was the transition like for you from moving UC Merced to Biola University, both on the court and off the court?
It was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. I go to therapy. Shout out my therapist, Hannah. Love you a lot. From the outside looking in, going into my junior year at Merced, actually after my sophomore year, I thought about transferring because I had a really good year. But I was scared to try to move up a level and be rejected. So I was like, I'm gonna come back to Merced, add more things to my resume, and if I did, then I'll be able to move without anybody rejecting me or go through, and the turmoil that you go through going through the transfer portal. So came back junior year. I mean, one of the most magical years of everybody. I mean, at Merced, we went 27, best school record, made to the national tournament, received a couple of accolades from myself, and overall the team just did well. And all the goals that I wrote out at the beginning of the year, I achieved. And I was like, yes, it's time to see what's out there. But I was kind of scared to talk to my head coach about it. But right after the season, he was the one that actually came up to me and was like, Cam, you should see what's out here. And that's all I needed to know, because I didn't want my coach to feel like I was betraying him or wanting to leave because I didn't love Merced, because I still have a lot of love for that school. But once I decided to transfer, that's when I really just started busting my behind even harder like I was in season. Usually after season, I take about 2 weeks completely off, like no lifting, no basketball. I don't even like talking about basketball, looking at basketball, just because of how much wear and tear in the season that you have in your body. But right after season, I was in the gym 6 a.m. doing my full routine. So I really didn't have any time off or really time to sit back and look back at how special that year was last year, because I wanted to make sure that when I had to go to these different schools to work out with their players and all that, I wanted to make sure I was ready. I went through a lot of rejection. I wouldn't say rejection, a lot of things I didn't want to hear. And I faced a lot of like mental turmoil, where I didn't think I wanted to do this anymore, to be honest. It was a lot of things that played into my decision coming to Biola. And if I was being honest, if I didn't get to the place I wanted to, I was just going to go back to Merced. And I had an understanding with my coach back at Merced, Kevin Pham. He knew that, and every other college coach that recruited me. I was upfront, transparent with them what I was thinking. Probably like midway through the summer, Coach Holmquist here at Biola gave me a call, and I was upfront with him too, and he was willing to talk with me, really to figure it out. He said, if anything changes, give me a call. Some things happened at Merced where my coach is no longer there. And so I really needed to find a new home. I didn't have a backup plan. I was homeless in a sense. And as I continued to go through the process, like I said, it was just very hard on my mind. Nights where I didn't think I was good enough to play, reaching out to a bunch of schools, not hearing anything back. Thankfully, started talking with a therapist, so I didn't have to face those turmoils all by myself. I mean, I have a very good inner circle. My mom, dad, my girlfriend, her family, trainers. Like, I have a lot of people to lean on, so I give a lot of praise and a lot of helpfulness, and I mean, God too, for just praying about everything. My faith is a big part of who I am. So once I had to figure out where a new home was, the next incident was being able to transfer, like credits and situation. And Biola, shout out to Coach Okada. I mean, we were on the phone every day trying to figure out how my credits would transfer and all that different type of stuff, how I'd be able to graduate on time. And throughout the whole process, Biola like stuck with it, and they didn't even know if I'd be able to come. And it just showed me their loyalty towards me. And I was like, I want to play for a coach that's going to go above and beyond, just like how my head coach at Merced was. So once I saw how loyal they were to me throughout this whole process, even when it was times where I wasn't even considering the school for real, I knew that this was going to be a good home. And praying about it, talking to my family, I felt like this was the best situation for me. And even going back to like not the trauma, but like the mental situation I went through, it was probably the best thing for me. Showed me that at the end of the day, you have ups and downs, but you get back up again. And I'm smiling, I'm here, I'm glad to be here, I'm where my feet are, mentally, figuratively, so I'm glad to be here.
What do you expect from playing here at Biola University, especially with new teammates, coaches, and like a new environment?
For me, being in a new environment, before this, I was opposed to change. Like, I'm a very routine person. I like to do the same things. I mean, I eat Chipotle dang near every day, do the same routine. Basketball-wise, like, I like a strict schedule, and I don't like things changing. So that was one of the biggest things I had to get adjusted to, being, like you said, being up under a new head coach, being new teammates, being in a new environment, going to a Christian university. Of course, I am a man of faith, but being around like-minded people that see the world in a similar way that you do is been an experience for me. But the things I just expect to grow, and I can already see it on the court and off the court. I mean, being here at Biola, people are very, very genuine. Being at Merced, I really knew and just talked to the basketball players, but as years went on, I started to talk to more people outside of the team. But here, within the first week, I knew more people outside of, like, just walking around. They'll come up to you, say hello, how you doing? And people just like to talk here, and it makes reserved people like myself at ease, because then I can talk to anybody here. That's off the court. On the court, being more of a leader. At Merced, I usually would lead by example. But besides that, I wasn't very vocal as much as I could have been. And being here, we have a lot of younger guys, a lot of freshmen, a couple transfers. I think there's only 5 guys returning from the team last year, so it's pretty much a brand new team. And being able to use my voice just because of how many years I played college and being able to see a lot throughout my years, it's been eye-opening, and I give the utmost respect to my teammates because they've been willing to listen. I know coming into a new environment, you have somebody telling you what to do. Sometimes people are opposed to that, but I love my teammates to death here. They're all great people. Within 2 weeks, I mean, one of my teammates, Ty's, is about to walk into the gym and we're about to work out. And they've all been like really welcoming, and all the things that I was fearful in my mind about being in a new environment, all those things was taken away right when I got onto campus, because everybody's made sure I've been okay. Teammates checking up on me, we all hang out. So I think outside of just like basketball playing wise, it's just a chance to grow myself as a person and grow my faith as well. Being here, everybody is a believer in Christ, and being able to have open dialogues about how you got to that journey and how I'm continuing to grow in my faith is something that I prayed for, especially going into this year, because I wanted to. I mean, God has given me a lot. basketball-wise, health-wise, family-wise, and especially the last couple of years for basketball. I've been able to do some special things, and I wanted to make sure that my life aligned with what he wanted me to do. Because I would always ask God, why am I going through this turmoil? Why do you have me going through this trial and tribulation? And now I just look at it as a chance to grow as a person, like growing pains in essence. So I think just being in a new environment has brought out another side of me that I didn't know I had. So I've liked how I've been able to grow. But basketball-wise, I mean, I want to win it all. Last year we came up short in the championship game, and being in a new environment, I think we have the pieces to do it. We got a lot of younger guys, but I would say when I was a younger guy, a freshman, my coach, he threw me into the fire. I started as a freshman. It was the best thing for me, but it probably didn't look the best from the outside looking in. So these freshmen are light years ahead of where I was, and they're all like receptive of learning, which is it's rarity to see. In our generation, a lot of people don't like to listen to their peers, and that's something, like I said, I was concerned about. But everybody wants to grow, wants to be knowledgeable, and everybody competes here. I didn't know how that would be being in a Christian environment, if I'm being honest. I thought it was just going to be a bunch of buddy stuff and people not going at it, but open gyms, practice, I mean, we're all going at it. We all love each other, but it's very competitive, and I think we can do some special things this year. So growing as a person, growing as a player, and just really put a stamp on who we are as Biola University.
Who would you say influenced you most on your basketball journey?
Probably like the head of the snake, for sure, my dad. I have a lot of people that have influenced me over the years, but probably the first one is for sure my dad. Love him to death. Anybody that knows me, you could tell who my dad is real easily because he shows up to everything. Open gyms, practices. He's never missed a college game, high school game, away, home. I mean, my sophomore year we played in Alaska. Him and my mom were there. And as a young kid, I didn't have a lot of friends that they had their dads in their lives, of course, but not as much as my dad was. So even like my first day in high school, my first high school practice, I didn't know anybody. I had a broken wrist, playing in a cast, and at O'Dowd, the doors would have like a little window, and I wasn't like sought after. I wasn't like recruited to go to O'Dowd. I just really wanted to play basketball there. So I went for tryouts, and no parents were allowed, mind you. So my dad is looking through the window the whole time, and everybody in the gym's like, who's that dude at the window? And I'm embarrassed, like, oh, that's my pops and everything. But as I start to get older, it's like, I appreciate everything that he does. I appreciate how much he shows up for me, how much he's there for me, by any means necessary, really. But he used to play in leagues when I was younger. There's pictures of me just sitting on the floor with a ball watching him play. So just seeing him, how much he loves the game. I mean, even not just for myself, like my friends can tell you, he goes to their games if they got games that are close to him, or if we're down here and some of my friends are playing at different LA schools, he'll go watch them. So he just loves being around the game, but I know how much he loves watching me play on top of that. So I give the utmost kudos to my dad, and he was probably the one that started me on my basketball journey. I give a lot of kudos as well to my cousins. Both of them played college basketball at a very, very high level. My girl cousin Asia, she played at Berkeley, and then my other cousin Quinn, he played at North Carolina. So they've been in my life so much, and especially as we got older. I mean, there's a big age gap. No, there's not a big age gap, but when I was younger, they were older, so you don't really know how to talk to your older cousins. Like you seen as a little cousin.
Yeah.
But now, because I understand how to move in the world, they've gone through everything I'm about to go through. I talk to them quite frequently, so they've trained me, they've worked out with me, they've been with me through the hard times, and I appreciate them for everything that they do. And then all my trainers. Probably my core trainers on the court, Chris Farr, Marquise Smith. I mean, both of those guys, Brandon Thomas, like those three guys helped formulate my game to what it is today. And I appreciate everything that they've done and really pushed me to my limits. Even like in high school, after my freshman year, I played freshman on the freshman team. Had a really good year, and I had a chance to play varsity, but didn't make the team. Right after I didn't make the team, I went to go work out with Marquise Smith, and shout out to him, but he's probably the most brutally honest person I've ever met. Doesn't sugarcoat anything. If you suck, he'll tell you suck. And actually, when I committed to Biola, that was dang near the first compliment he's ever gave me in the last 10 years. But I love him to death. But after I went and worked out, after I got cut and was put on JV my sophomore year, I went to the workout crying, and he was like, "What are you crying for?" I was like, I didn't make varsity. They cut me. They did me wrong. Like, I just started playing the blame game. And he was like, "Did you work hard enough?" And I was like, "No." And he basically broke down everything I wasn't doing. And he was like, "You have no reason to cry because you didn't earn it." And ever since that day, I felt like that was a turning point. That's why I wake up so early to bust my behind. I take this game very seriously, and I think I've always worked hard, but that day like changed my mindset. Like, okay, like I can't play the blame game. I can't blame a coach for not playing me. In any situation where I haven't played, like even at Merced, there was times where I didn't play, and had conversations with coaches, and I was like, okay, what can I do to change? So a lot of people, my pro-am coach, Coach Pace, came into my life a little later, after like my freshman year of college, and he's really like a big homie to me now, where he just looks out. But there's so many people in my village, to be honest with you, Dev, that I don't want to miss out any names, but they've all played a part in making me the basketball player I am today. I mean, especially Chris Farr. I mean, I've been with him for the last 3 years, and everything that I do on the court is basically what we work on every single morning. The funniest man I've ever met, but really one of the most down-to-earth people. And took a chance on working out with me. Like he doesn't work out with everybody, but he pushed me. I mean, our first workout, he was just trying to break me, see what I was made of. And I knew that, so I was like, I might have missed every shot in that workout, but I wasn't going to quit. And since that day, we've been rocking for the last 3 years, so I love him to death. My weightlifting coach, Coach Ant, Daryl, all people. I feel like to make who people are, it takes a village. Like, your family is the reason why you are here today. My family, my friends, everybody in my basketball community, all had a piece to the puzzle to make who Cameron Brown is today.
Definitely had a great circle around you.
For
Pushes
sure.
you,
For
even with
sure.
the ups and downs. Especially your dad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
there
that
every day.
man, and my mom too. Really, she didn't play basketball, but she's the one that instilled hard work into me. One of the hardest working women that I know. Doesn't like handouts the same way I am. Like, I don't like things being given to me. I want to make sure that I've earned it, the right to do something. And she just really, the same way Marcus is brutally honest with me, my mom is very honest with me. Of course, she's my mama, so she cares. It's presented differently, but if I didn't work hard for something, she would let me know. And when I get too big-headed, like when I had really good years at Merced, she was the first one, like, boy, stay level-headed. Like, it could easily be taken away, and I think my faith aspect really came from her. Grew up in the church, went to Christian school, K through 8th grade, but she was really the one. Anytime I go through any turmoil, the first one to pray for me, the first one to send me a scripture, the first one to show me, like, hey, there's a reason why God is putting you through this. And I give a lot of kudos to her, but both her and my dad my mom's at every game as well, but it's just easier to point out my dad because he got a big old iPad in the crowd, so you know who he is. But her, my dad, and my sister, those three are like those are my world.
What would you say to a young player who dreams of playing basketball at the professional level?
Keep going. The things that I've been able to do with basketball is all God willingly. But really just work hard. I was never like a sought after kid. In high school, people were recruited to go to Odell. I wasn't that. In middle school, I was fat, chubby, out of shape. Going into high school, broke my wrist, same difference. Nobody knew who I was. Like I said, if you just keep going with it, don't look to the left or right of you, don't compare yourself to anybody. Know that God has a unique journey for you, and you'll be able to make it. And whatever, not just basketball, life. Like the ones that get after it and put their time into it, you gonna make something special of yourself. So I would just say keep going, and don't let anybody tell you what you can and cannot do. I mean, that's a cliche that everybody says, but if I were to listen to what people said I couldn't do, then I mean, I wouldn't be able to share these accomplishments with you. I've never looked like a basketball player, didn't play that much in AAU, and everybody that they said in AAU I ended up beating out, or now they play a different sport. And I love those guys to death, I love those coaches to death, but I mean, I really bust my behind. Like, I really get after it, and I know that when you do that in anything in life, you be all right.